perverse about slavery in the New World was it ended up as a race-based thing. And people have a hard time wrapping their mind around the fact that in the ancient world is like anybody could become a slave, you know, whether you're Caucasian or African or Semitic or whatever. That was like equal opportunity employer, you know.
Biblical slavery was not race-based. This is an apologetic that you often hear from apologists in their defense for biblical slavery.
First of all, Old Testament slavery was not race-based for servitude. It was
how somebody moved into that position. It was caused by poverty, not racial status. It was not caused by racial status, but by poverty.
There is no brown race, white race, yellow race, red race. There's just a human race in the eyes of God. That is the clear teaching of Scripture and the teaching that motivated and propelled the abolitionist movement.
In this series, this being the first in series, I'm going to give counter arguments to these arguments. I chose this one first because it's the easiest one to give counter apologetics to, because you don't have to give any at all. You can simply agree and move on. Biblical slavery was not race-based. Fine, whatever. How, if you really want to go a little bit deeper into it, you can say it wasn't race-based, but it was absolutely ethnic-based. I think it's much more important to understand why an apologist or somebody that you may be having a conversation with offers this up in the first place, and the only reason that they offer it up. Because keep in mind, nobody makes this argument against the Bible. Nobody says that, oh, biblical slavery was race-based. Nobody says this ever. But yet apologists still have to keep pushing the narrative. And the only reason that they're doing it is because they want to put as much distance as they can between biblical slavery and, you know, more modern race-based slavery that was actually more or less race-based. They just want to put distance in between it, and it doesn't matter. So the best counter you can give is to argue that it was based off of ethnicity, but sure, it was not based off of race. Short, sweet, to the point. There's no reason to argue against this. It's just a non-starter. There's no argument to be made here. If you hear this, just agree. And if you want to poke a little bit of fun, say, all right, fine, it wasn't race-based, but it was ethnic-based.